Good afternoon everyone and welcome to another Twister stream. This time we are streaming our first Twister Professionals tournament stream and we are kicking it off with the Asian server and day 1. We will be following E7 as they embark on their journey towards the Twister Cup. That is of course wishful thinking maybe, I don't know. There are 8 strong teams on the Asian server, it can go every which way. And that's the same thing for every server, every team, but every team is hoping for the same thing, to make it to the offline event and then take home the cup. So like I said, today we are going to follow E7 and this is the current lineup that we have on the Asia server. We have ICT, NUP, Feast, HLV, King, Low, TNMN and E7. And like I said, we are following E7 with our famous Disney princesses. Even though not all of them are princesses, a lot of them are. And we are going to kick it off. Basically, they've put in all the matches in reverse order. But we are going to start with E7 versus Low and then followed by E7 versus NUP today. And like you can see, there's a lot of maps listed, and that has to do with the fact that we are now entering a stage of the Twister tournament where things are best of 7. This is something that makes it so that it's definitely never a fluke or just luck that you go through, because you have to get 4 wins in order to go through, and that can be an every combination. You can have a 4-0 or 4-3, for instance. But overall, it's definitely going to be fun. I'm hoping for tiebreakers because as a streamer, that's what you hope for the most. But we don't know. Of course, the teams are hoping for a 4-0 for them. And we just have to be a little bit patient, a little bit longer before we see what the teams do and how all of that goes. But yeah, those are the matchup that are planned today. If you are on the Asia server and you want to earn coins or crates, or I'm not sure what the streams are handing out this time around, but I think it was 1 crate per half hour for watching. You need to watch through the portal. There is 1 stream per server per day. That gives stuff. Today for the Asia server and the EU server, that will be Brian, aka Rolling Swarm, and it will be me for NA tonight. And tomorrow I will my stream will be giving out stuff for Asia and EU, and it will be Brian's stream that gives out stuff in the night. So that is basically it. It is a bit complicated, but basically there is 1 stream advertised per day. That stream is gonna give you coins and or crates or whatever, and you have to watch through the portal. It only works for the server that you're watching for, so if you want to have stuff for an Asia stream, you have to have an Asia account. And basically just make sure you're logged in on the portal and all of that. And if the streamer of your choice is not the one doing the streaming on the portal, you can always just have the stream playing in the background so that you do get the stuff and then go to YouTube to watch the one that you actually want to watch. So that is my advice to you. In the meantime, we have YouTube that has almost caught up with everything that we are doing here, because there's a 5-minute delay on the stream to make sure that no one sees the lineup of any other team. That is all to make it just fair and to make sure that no one can cheat this system. That also means that if you say something in the chat, if I do react, it will be 5 minutes after you say it. So generally I don't always react because it is quite useless, and most of the time the conversation has carried on quite a bit before I actually make that reaction, and that always feels just a little bit useless to me. So yeah, we are just waiting for YouTube to catch up now so that I can go officially live, which should be about now. We are live. Well, you see this in 5 minutes, but yeah. And basically then we just need to wait for the room invite and then we can go and focus on the games. Thing is that I always try to keep an eye on the chat. I have some very lovely stream moderators as well, and I'm hoping that they will point people in the right direction if they are wondering why they're not getting stuff or where they can get stuff, because for a lot of people reading is quite a bit of a challenge. And yeah, basically people for some reason can't read. I've had so many questions in previous streams asking them, where can I get stuff for watching this? And it's very clearly advertised in the news that you can only get it from today onwards. So yeah, that's one thing. In the meantime, we have entered the room. We have about 4.5 minutes left to go before we enter the actual battle. That's actually a good idea what the thing said, the thing ghost just said. I'm actually going to make sure you're logged in, because that is the link to the definite thing. But I have moderators that I've asked to basically post that when people ask questions. But yeah, let's focus on the games. We have E7 already completely, almost completely present. And we have Low that is also present with a full team, even though we don't see all of them right now. And like I said, we are going to start on Rockfield. So let me just grab Rockfield for you. Rockfield looks like this. You have 3 bases. You have base A, that is considered a heavy base, base B in the middle, and base C, that is considered a med base. There are lines of fire into every bases from multiple sides, but base A has a slightly better protection because of the bunker that is there. But if our people are up on the ridge near C, they can actually get crossfire into base A. So that does make it a little bit tricky to actually cap the base if people are firing HE, and if you have a tank that does not have a low enough profile to properly hide yourself, basically. Base B is the most open one of all. There are so many lines of fire into it, but at the same time, if you manage to cap it, it will be very difficult for the team to actually, for the enemy team that is, to actually decap it. So it might be worth the risk. We have seen it work before. So that is the map that we are starting on. We get one spawn one time, and then the other spawn, of course, and then we move on to the next map. Like I said, it is a best of 7, so there will be at least 4 games before we know exactly what the stand is and if one of them is going through at the minimum. Like I said, I'm hoping, of course, for tiebreakers, because that generally makes it a lot more fun. But yeah, I've seen teams go every which way on this map. I'm sort of done pretending to know where they will go, because the thing is, it's a team game, and that means that they can actually just move whatever direction they want to go in, and that has everything to do with the fact that they're a team. So you go for a position where you can build your team, and that doesn't necessarily have to follow the logic of random battles, because in random battles, if I'm a fast tank. No, actually, for supremacy in random battles, I generally always go A. But if it's encounter, I always go C. And it's that kind of stuff. You can't predict what happens in a team battle, in a tournament battle. Even though you've seen the team play before, and even though you know some of their tactics, every team will have multiple tactics from multiple spawns. That's a good thing. I really like it. So that is basically what we are going to do. I'm going to take away the map now so that it won't be on your screen. And then we just have to focus on the battle itself. In the meantime, I do have some replays saved up for you in the event that a game, this matchup I should say, ends a little bit early. And I'm actually quite looking forward to sharing those, because some of them are even mine, and I'm quite proud of those games. It has everything to do with the new line, and it's just, oh, I love it. I love it so much. It's amazing. So in less than 1 minute now, we are going to enter the battle. We have A7 that has completely readied up with a grill, a T22 medium, a DS, 2 IS4s, an AMX 50B and a Batchet. And they're going to face off against 3 IS4s, two T22 mediums, a Batchet and a Force. So that is some new meta, but not most of it actually, and a little bit of IS4s. Not surprising there, because that is still a very strong tank. And in 25 seconds we get to see the match, and we get to see what they do and where they go and all of that. I'm always like, at this point, both teams are just ready, so let's just go, but I understand that that is not really an option. So let's see what they do. The countdown timer has begun. We are 5 seconds away from the first battle. And here we go. Loving all the avatars that we are seeing. Ooh, everyone's loaded in quite quickly. And let's see where they go. Up and away. And we have e7 focusing primarily on the c side, actually focusing all on the c side, abandoning a altogether. We have a Batchat that is going in, bot is going to spot. Mulan and Skywalker, it's not actually Skywalker, but yeah, have proxy spotted each other. Low is focusing primarily on the a side, but e7 will have an early point advantage because they have capped base c now. We have e7 moving in, Batchat escaping unscathed, base a now being capped, and Low taking defensive position along the ridge. Cheesy bugger, losing a bit of HP there. Low still playing as if there's people on this side, but they don't know that all of e7 is on the other side. With the Batchat that is going back towards the spawn to spot. Cheeky thing to do, not necessarily risk-free. And now they just really have to hold, because they have about a tank's advantage in points. The IS-4 has been spotted. And the Batchat does have to be careful, because you don't want to get spotted there again. He does. And he miraculously survives that. Using the rocks as cover. Low has some damage going into Banana. And the Batchat is holding. And for the rest, e7 is positioned quite defensively. As is Low. Not much is happening. And now the Batchat wants, Mulan wants the damage, looks like. He is holding, he is waiting for that IS-4 to peek up and over. Cheesy Bugger taking a little bit more damage, he has to be a little bit less forwards. Banana Fish arriving as well. And chances are they will push the Batchat together. If they dare make that push, because it is a little bit risky to do that. And they're now both spotted. And Mulan could be in a lot of trouble if not for the fact that he has a team behind him. So it's a bit of a stalemate kind of thing. Not much happening. Low holding. And really not much happening. Merida losing a little bit of HP. Coming to help the Batchat. I don't understand why they're doing this. Because they were in a perfect holding position. They didn't really need to take any risk. But this could potentially be a big risk. Especially now that Low is rotating. We see them moving. We have the AMX arriving as well. But they're all spotted and the Batchat losing quite a bit of health. They will have to focus fire very well in order to make this work before the rest of Low arrives. And there goes Banana. And now the T-22s are arriving. And ooh, Emerald is lucky there not to get hit. Merida now in trouble. LSSN is actually taking a little bit more damage. Merida will be sacrificed for this. And that is the problem with this. Batchat now sort of running away. But he's on fire. And he just got obliterated, sorry. People getting in each other's way. More people disappearing. Both teams have lost 2 guns now. Skywalker has just gone. And it is now a 5 versus 4. With a very low HP. 4 versus 4. But HP wise, E7 has the definite advantage. But it is now 3 versus 3. They kinda have to focus. The grill is going to get massively hit there. Ooh, and he just survives. And we have a DS moving in, and that is mainly the problem that they have. Because that grill is probably not going to live. There he goes, he can just get rammed. And that is a massive hit. But the DS is not going to survive facing off against the Force now. So Elsa kind of has to make the move. He has to take the hit from the T-22. He can afford it, but he can't afford to get hit by the Force as well. That was an expensive hit. And Elsa needs to play aggressively. He can either ignore the T-22 and get shot on the bum. which is what he is doing, going after the Foch. Could potentially be a good move, but could be very tricky. Mainly he just needs to survive. And as long as he does that, he doesn't need to take any risk. Elsa, what are you doing? Don't take the chances. And it's actually Low that brings it home. Okay, actually he had to take the chance, but he didn't. He didn't do it enough. Playing too careful. And the first game is for Low, but look at the damage that the Foch dealt. But this is exactly what I mean. Just, I don't understand. I do understand why they pushed those two IS-4s, but at the same time, then they started playing too defensively and it cost them the game. They didn't have to do it like that. So let's hope that they regroup and focus on the next battle and not linger too much on that first battle. But we have E7 that is now ready in a grill, a T22 medium, a VK, an E100, a 215B, a Batchat, and an IS-4, and Low is still deciding on their lineup. And that's the thing, it's not an easy map, to be fair, this map. Because of the fact that you have so many positions, and they were in a perfect stalemate situation. But because basically E7 just gave it up going after those two IS-4s, but not committing to it enough. And then people getting stuck places and getting murdered by Low. Low reacted to the push quite well, even though they lost the tank. They responded well enough. If you hear a dog, that is my neighbor's dog. And Low is now also completely readied up with a 215B, two 140s, two IS-4s, a T22 medium and a Foch. So in 24 seconds we get to see what they do with the new lineups. I wonder if we're gonna see a change in tactics. All in all, I hope they play more patiently. No, actually don't, because aggressive gameplay makes for beautiful streams. But I do understand that holding would work technically better. So here we go into the second match of this best of 7. And it's all about the points. As long as you get enough points to be in the top 4, you will go through to the finals. And here we go. And now we see Low splitting up. I'm going to go up and away. And we have the 140s together with the Batchat. No, actually the T22, sorry. Facing off against the Batchat and the T22. And that can be a bit tricky because Cheesy Bugger in the T22 is pretty OP, but they have 3 tanks against them. And we see the Batchat now retreating. And Cheesy Bugger is mainly there just to hold them. Meanwhile, we have a heavy lineup meeting a heavy lineup on the other side. We see some blind fire happening, but no damage being done yet. Emerald taking some damage. And we have Mulan waiting, not really making a move. Base C now being capped. And I don't think the T22 can uncap it. The grill is pulling back, so is Cheesy Bugger. They're leaving this side of the map to Low. But that kind of means that they have to make a push here, because you can't let them get too much of an advantage. Merida being spotted going up with the speed boost. And now E7 is pushing. There are only 4 tanks there, Echo taking some damage, as does Cinderella. And they are pushing over open terrain, and it is costing them a lot of HP to try and take out Skywalker. Merida in trouble, being definitely focused. Mulan taking a massive hit in the Batchat. There goes Skywalker, but Merida is very low HP. And more of a surprise that he's still alive. Batchat being hit by the Foch. Still alive, the Foch taking a massive hit for it though. Merida still alive as well. But look at the amount, and we have the Mets arriving, and basically E7 is caught in a crossfire right now. And both teams have lost 2 tanks, but look at the difference in HP there, as a near 4k advantage to Low. And tanks are not disappearing fast enough for this push to work. And we have Cheesy Bugger. It is now 4 versus 3, but the Batchat is barely alive. The Grill is reloading. He's not going to survive this. And the T-22 does take a big hit. But there goes the Batchat. Grill manages to get another hit in. But this is definitely Low's game. And there goes the Grill. And there goes the E100. And Low wins the second game. So again, Low responding very well to a push. Creating that crossfire, folding that pincer basically around E7. Very nicely done by them. And in just over a minute and a half, we get to see the third game. And now the pressure is starting to, it's starting to come really, because the first team that gets 4 victories in this lineup gets the point. So that means that Low has to just win 2 more games in order to advance to, in order to get the point. Whereas E7 has to win 4 games to get that point. So that can be a little bit tricky. Low now completely ready up for the next map that we have, and that is Desert Sands. Let me very quickly pull it up. It looks like this. You have 3 bases, 1 in the desert, 2 in the city. Base C is pretty close protected, but overall I love the positioning around base A a lot more. I feel that it works a lot better with the ridges and the dunes and all of that. More cover that way. But it is an interesting map, and it kind of invites pushes and campers, so curious to see what they will do, taking it away so that it's not blocking your screen. And we have E7 readied up in 2 215Bs, a Spaghetti, 2 140s, a Foch and a 268 versus 2 IS4s, 2 Object 140s, 2 Foches and a T-22 medium. I'm very happy to see a Spaghetti this early in the tournament. I'm very curious how it will perform in a situation like this, really, because it's definitely a very fun tank. I free XP'd most of the line, but I'm actually stopped at the standard B because I love the standard B. And the grind would just be such a pleasure. I didn't want to skip it. So we are going into the third game on Desert Sands. Pretty mobile meta on both sides. I'm very, very curious to see how it will go. I'm not sure if you can hear them. There's a lot of planes going on because there's a giant market garden remembrance service going on in my city right now. Which is actually sad because that means that there are tanks driving around the city and I can't be there to watch it because I'm streaming. So yeah, let's see what they do. We have the Spaghetti together with the Object 140s going. Just look at it. This is also one of the prettiest camo in the game. I can't wait to have it. Well, actually I can't wait, but yeah. Meanwhile, we have Emerald in the Foch meeting a lot of heavy fire, and he is wisely pulling back behind the buildings, not wanting to get shot by those Foches. Steadily getting back into cover. And all of Low is in the city. And I'm kind of wondering how that will go, if that means that they are going to push. They are pushing into the desert E7. Look at that, there they're going. But that is also a tricky thing, because you're basically abandoning half your team, and that can be very, very dangerous. So we are just waiting to see what they do. We have Emerald holding. A being capped now. And that means that now Low is slowly making a move. Emerald pulling back further and further. Very wisely. Ooh, not getting any damage for that shot. That is a very lucky Emerald. And now base A has been capped. We have the Object 268 moving in a position behind Emerald. And we have the Mats pushing on the other side. With the 215Bs holding in the middle here. One of the Object 140s takes a little bit of damage. The 215Bs are quickly capping. Banana Fish is being focused by the Mats. And now base B has been kept as well, and that means that even though they take a tiny bit of damage for it, E7 will have the point advantage soon. because this will rack up the points. We have the Foch and the 268 pulled at the back here. And there they are. And we now see the FVs being pushed. But they're paying dearly for making that push. And even though Cheesy Bugger is losing HP, there is XP being lost. We have the 140s moving in. Foch being a primary target. Oh, he's actually taking out the 140 even though he dies for it himself. But that is just like, look at this. This is exactly the reverse of what we saw the last two games. Where it was E7 that made a push and paid for it dearly. And instead now it is Low that is making the push and paying for it very dearly. Okay, there goes the Foch. It is 6 versus 2. And Ariel is still alive. Don't ask how, but he is. He's gonna get rammed to death now. But it is now 5 versus 1. There is one poor lone Sky AFKer left and he's just getting obliterated. There he goes. And this is exactly the opposite of what we saw the last two matches. That is just... wow. Okay. So it is now 1-2 in the scoreboard. Like I said, the first team to get 4 victories is the one that gets the point. And we are going for the second match on Desert Sands. But yeah, like I said, there's currently a massive remembrance service going on in my city. There's a march going across the bridge. That is basically the bridge that stopped it all. There are tanks, there are parachute jumps. There's a 97-year-old Scottish guy, Scottish man, veteran, that just did a dual jump to basically relive the whole invasion thing. Of course a duo jump because you can't really do it alone at 97, but I think that's just amazing and I love that they remember stuff like that. But that means that there's currently driving a lot of military vehicles downtown and there's a lot of military planes flying about and it's quite wicked. If not for this stream, I would definitely be there making videos. But at the same time we get our own battles here, so it's not too bad. And we have E7 now completely ready up with a 121B, 2 IS4s, a 268, a 140, a 215B and an STB. Versus 3 IS4s, a Foch, a 215B, an STB and another Foch. So in 30 seconds we get to see the fourth match of this matchup. Overall, the matches are over pretty quickly, to be fair, if you consider the fact that we are now entering the fourth match and it's only 18 minutes into the whole thing, and that includes 6 minutes of waiting time between the matches. That means that there's been a total of about 12 minutes for 3 matches. That's about 4 minutes per match, so that's quite quickly. And with 3 seconds we are going into the fourth match of this matchup. So here we go. Into this look at this, I love this camouflage, it looks so great. Absolutely adore it. Very happy to have it. And here we go. Ariel in his very pretty tank going together with Emerald towards the plane. And we see Low focusing primarily on the A side as well. Everyone is going to meet at A or on the train tracks, and that can be very tricky. STB getting some spots in, they know that everyone is going to go into the desert and they have to play it a bit defensively. Ariel quickly grabbing the base, hoping to get away with it. I'm not sure if he's gonna, but he might. No, he does not. But they do exchange some HP for that. And now base A is pretty much uncappable. I'm going to take you a little bit further back. Because we have the STB. And they are expecting campers. But there are actually none. STB being way too forwards there for no reason. $140 getting rushed. He's basically the odd one out now. Taking quite a bit of damage. Running away. We have E7 pushing on the other side. Ariel taking a bit hit in his... Emerald as well. Poor Emerald is not going to survive this. And there he goes. And there goes Super Noob, and it is 6 versus 6. But they will kind of have to focus fire and not drive into each other's shots, because that would definitely help. Force taking a big hit there. He's not going to survive. Ooh, he actually does survive this. And ooh, he gets a hit in. But look at this massacre. Just tanks dropping left and right. It is 4 versus 5. But the HP is just vanishing every which way. Mulan being taken out. Sky AFK now gone. But pretty much it will be difficult. Ooh, the STP. Metadan now in trouble. Almost gone. There he goes. It is 2 versus 4, and this is mainly the effect of E7 driving into each other's shots. The focus fire was not there, and it really needed to be. And there goes Cheesy Bugger, and now it's poor Olaf, all alone, melting in the desert. And yeah, HP will just melt away, there we go. And there's not much he can do, except get set on fire and die. Well, not, but I mean, you literally see fire. That's what my point. And that really looked to be going in E7's direction for quite a bit, actually. But I think the fact that it didn't has more to do with the lack of focus fire on E7 side, and Low just reacting so nicely to that push again. They're really good at just absorbing. And we are now going to actual Middelburg. I'm going to quickly call up the map for you. And this is what it looks like. You have 3 bases, 1 on the hill, 2 in the city. A and B close to their respective spawns. It is a very, very difficult map to play tournaments in my opinion, because you either need to play aggressively and push, but if you want to play tactically and hold the base, you have to go city basically, unless you know that there are no mats there, but you never know. So yeah, it is not an easy map. So, but that is the map that we are going for the 5th game of this matchup. We have E7 completely ready in a 121B, again an FV4202, don't see that one often. A 140, a 215B, an IS4, a 268, and potentially another IS4. And they are up against one IS4, an Object 140, 2 T22 mediums, a Spaghetti, a Batchet, and a Foch. And again, I can't wait to see how the Spaghetti performs. Last match was not generally a really good example, I think, and that's mostly to do with it becoming a brawl very, very quickly. And Echo decided to stick with the IS4. So here we go. And in 10 seconds we get to see this 5th game. Like I said, best of 7. The pressure is definitely on E7 now. They have to win the next 3 matches in order to get the point. And Low just has to win 1 more game to get that point. And here we go. In the meantime, I saw I got an offer on this account. This is not an account I play on, but it's always funny to see the offers arriving. And in the meantime, I'm hearing a police car, I think. But here we go. Let's see what they do. We have fast tanks versus fast tanks. And we have Low basically holding, whereas E7 is moving in to dominate base C, not necessary to cap it, but they do spot people. And the rest of the Low team is moving towards the hill, but so is E7's team. Emerald running away. Some very little HP damage being done there. And Cinderella now in trouble, getting rushed, taking lots and lots of damage. This, ooh, and that's just, no, don't hash like that. And Cinderella has just been deleted, and that is putting E7 at a setback straight off. Also, not necessarily with the bases, but they are points behind and they're a gun behind, and the gun is very important at this stage. T22 not really in a good position, but he can still pack a wallop, and he has still backup, and they are overextending, trying to get rid of him. But there he goes. Base B now also being capped. But both teams have lost the gun now. And they are not playing it carefully enough. We have E7 pushing in, but they're not doing so carefully. Willow has 3 bases now. That is definitely going to work against anyone. And that makes it all the more difficult. They are pushing in. They need to take the tanks out, and they need to take them out fast. Echo in a lot of trouble. Also getting blocked by his teammate in the back. Ariel almost gone. Banana Fish still alive. Preferred target, but the focus fire is not there. And that is sort of like just killing off E7 in this case. Because you just saw that the object was actually shooting the Foch rather than the target that was right at hand. If they were shooting the same tanks, that would make such a difference. But right now it is 5 versus 3 and they're not going to survive this. This is Low's game. Low is getting the point. I can call that. Because even now they are face-hugging the same tank, but they're not shooting the same tank. And we have the 140 at the back still contending with the Foch. And now it is Emerald in an epic Kolobano situation versus the team that is communicating on voice. And yeah, we are at 1k points. The point is for Low. They still managed to destroy him. It is Low's game. Low gets the point. And this is exactly what I mean. The focus fire was not there. Shooting different targets when you are entering a brawl is deadly in any way you turn it, really. So that is, yeah. But very well done by Low. I have to say that. They played very well, absorbed all the pushes. And basically the one mistake that they made, the one battle that they lost, was the one where they pushed themselves and pushed into a pincer. And that was a beautiful game by E7. But, oof. So that is the first matchup gone. Let's see what is this amazing offer that I'm getting. The Batilda Black Prince with 1k gold. And a camouflage and an avatar. Yeah, let's not. But this is just... I'm surprised when I see games like this. Because I know they can perform so much better. I've seen them perform tons better. So let's see. When is the next lineup? We have Feast that took it home. We have TNM that took it home. What is happening with ICT? This is the part where you have to scroll down. Ooh, they were up against Feast and they just got knocked on their asses. TNM, who did you face off against? They faced off against NUP, so we know TNM, ICT, Feast, NUP we know Low, and then we have HLV versus King. That is the last one. And HLV took that home. So we have Feast, TNM, ICT, and King, I think I said. Oh, my memory is so bad. Especially short term. HLV actually got the point. So that is the stand right now. Very quick games overall, because we are 28 minutes into it with about 8 minutes waiting time for most teams. So that is very quick games. So let's see, what is the one that we have coming up next? We have in 34 minutes we are going to have E7 versus NUP. And that means that I'm going to be showing you some lovely replays. And we'll see how that goes. Let's see what I have for you. I told you I have some actually for myself. From myself, I should say. And I'm going to be showing you some of those. Because I'm actually... This tank is seriously, it's my new love. I absolutely adore it. It is freaking awesome. Just utterly adore it. And I still need to pimp it out because I can't, obviously this is like this is a camo that we got as CCs at some point, and I can use it for free on every tank. So basically until I'm decided how I want to dress my tank, I just go and do this on every tank. But I need to pimp it because it definitely deserves pimping. So I started by going to C because I know I have some people with me and I want to cap that base. Because we have this stronger team here and because I'm driving this tank, I'm actually not all that careful. I get the first shot in. This is basically what I love about the auto reloading system, because now I have the choice to either shoot him or just wait and get a full clip. So I start shooting him again. He is especially making it very easy, to be fair. I've capped the base. I'm reloading my second shot. He's running away. I basically just want to catch him. So I go for the spot where I think he will arrive. And now with a very short reload, I kill him. And I love this. This is the auto reloading system at its best. These are the kind of shots and movements that I just adore. It's just such a lovely, lovely tank. I can't get enough of it. So now I'm just using the rock because I know they will have campers. With 2 TDs, I just need to position myself well, but they are currently occupied, so I decide to go after the Tiger too. I have a friend with me, that means that I can get the shots in very easily. So I do that while my teammate is still there. He gets deleted and then I just decide I need to use my rock. I know the issue is there. My friend that said hi is the one that got obliterated. And now it is 5 versus 4, but we have 2 bases and we know where some of the campers are. So in this case, I'm waiting to reload my whole clip. Take a blind shot, but I see that it hits the snow, so I know that he's no longer there. And I don't want to risk it. Now I have the Moiskin that is heading towards base A. And I'm kind of hoping to get some shots into him. Especially when he's angled like that, he does not make it all that difficult. And at this point, I'm 3.3k damage in. And this is like, I know that even though I have to wait, I'm just reloading more shots. The waffle has been spotted. I know there's 4 tanks left. I need to be careful of the Isu because he will still be there. And there he is. And even though he will likely hurt me, he actually misses me. And I murder him. And then just start reloading shots again. And this will hurt. I don't mind. Because I have plenty of HP. And with their light being over there, and I know that the Moiskin is... Oh, that's actually not the Moiskin, he's already dead. But yeah, I just know that I need to play this carefully. I'm 4.3k damage in. Even if he had shot me, I would have been fine. So at this stage, I'm not really worried about HP. So I just decide to, let's cap another base maybe. Or go up, so they don't know where I am. And there he goes, 4.9k damage in. We have a lightweight in the middle. We are 986 points in. We are definitely winning this. The thing is, will I get some more damage in? And unfortunately I don't. Because that would have been lovely. But we don't arrive in time. And I don't get to kill him off. But I did get 4.9k damage. And 4 kills in a tier 9. That is something that I personally quite like. 1538 basic speed. I don't think that's that bad. So overall, that was a very lovely game. 490 supremacy points as well. So that is the first one. Like I said, I have a bunch, like you can actually see, because I tested some. Not all of them are aces. Some of them, this is the one that we actually watched. Some of them are first classes, so I'm not going to show those. But I do have some more replays of my own to show you. I'm not going to show you all of them, mainly because of the fact that I want to have something to show on other streams. And let's see what I have. I have some lovely gameplays from friends and clanmates, so I'm going to save them so I can show them to you. And let's have a look. See, we are going to start off with a lovely game in the T57 Heavy. This is a game, not necessarily a game, I haven't seen the game, but this is a tank that is actually one of the tanks that I free speed the whole line of, because I just absolutely loved it. And it's amazing. It's not as strong as it used to be, but I think, if I remember right, I have the... this was the first autoloader in tier 10, I think. And it was just a whole new concept, and it's actually a game on this map that made me just free XP the whole line, because I was like, I want to have that. In the meantime, yes, Irma, I do have a Pantera replay. It's epic. At least, this is like, I'm sort of like putting feathers in my own ass, as the Dutch saying would go, mainly complimenting myself. But there are a few games that I had this week that I'm actually very proud of. So I'm looking forward to showing those, because it's not often that I get a game where I'm like, I love that. I'm proud of that. Nice little trucky shot. And he does get shot for it, so he has to be careful. But now he's clip reloading, and he needs to be... I don't understand why he pulled back rather than going forwards, to be fair. But yeah, I have also one of the tier 7, which is the one that I currently like the least of the line. But oh my god, the whole line is just... oh, I love it. You're losing too much HP, Marcel, doing this. There you go, he clipped another one. Nice little bounce, but he's lost quite a bit of HP just trying to get rid of the T62A. Ooh, DS arriving. Not focused on Marcel at all, luckily for him. And he can clip this guy as long as he's careful. One more. And that is the end of the DS. But now, ooh, this is not a position you want to be in. My lord. Jäger on one side, Waffle on the other. With the PTA at the back. I would be most afraid of the Jäger from behind. Thing is, if you do this well, you can clip a... ooh, that was the Jäger. You can clip the Waffle, and he does. And that is lucky more than anything else. But we are 5.2k damage into it. There's 3 enemies left. We have a Jäger that is pushing. We have a one-shot T-57 Heavy that we're following. And it is a very, very tricky game. They just killed each other off. Jäger is pulling back. I'm not sure what our Marcel is doing. He's now currently accidentally reverse side scraping, I believe. Ooh, that is not how you want to do it. Now he's reloading his clip. And he has to be very, very careful. Because he can get HE to death very easily here. And the IS-4 is not paying attention to him. Oh, there he goes. It looked like the turret finished the IS-4 off. It did not. But yeah. 6.4k damage into it. 1447 base XP. That was some skill with a lot of luck, to be fair. But that's everything to do with the positioning and the TDs not going for him as they should have. But that was a lovely, lovely game. And that shows exactly the strength and the weaknesses of this tank, really. So let's have a look. See, I said I had a Pantera for you. And Irma asked for it, so I'm going to show that to you now. This tank, I actually struggled with it a little bit. It's great. But it took me a little bit to get used to it. Of course, because it has a legendary camouflage, I actually just got it like straight off, as in I want to pimp my ride. But yeah, standard B still needs to be pimped. I haven't decided yet what to get on it. I need to look and see what looks best. So this tank, again, auto reloader, love the system. I love that it's not standard. It plays differently. It makes you think differently. I have a game that I'm also going to show you in the standard B that shows exactly the strength of this system and exactly why I love it. But we start off now by going into base C, seeing if we can get some shots into base B. But there's no one there. This is actually a position I quite like. But we have a Sue at the back, so I miss him by a mile because that is like so useful. We kept the base and I decide to go forwards. And they are capping base A and B, and that is the tricky part. This guy basically just wants to stick close to me, quite literally. We have an Edelweiss that is arriving. And I decide to wait for my shot rather than... Because now I can clip him. And that is the thing that I love. You can decide whether or not you're actually going to reload the whole shot. Or you can just reload the one shot and then clip someone. And that's something I love it. I love it so much. So we have an IS-2, but there's a very juicy Löwe bomb there. I've reloaded the clip and I decide to just pump it into him. This guy keeps driving into my shots, but it's okay. I set the Löwe on fire, do some extra damage there. In this stage, it doesn't look too good for the team. They have 2 bases. HP-wise, it's not looking too good either. I get some nice shot into him. I start capping the base, not necessarily to cap the base, but more to just... This is like, I love this when they do this. Just stand out in the open, let me shoot you. The second shot misses. I do cap base B, and I'm capping very openly. I should have been punished for that, like, very, very dearly. Only I didn't. So we have the I-5 that is still getting in the way. We have a Löwe that I want to finish off. I should be able to with one clip. I just need to make sure that the shots pen. Which they do. And then I decide to go up the ramp. 3 enemies left. 5 teammates left. We should be okay. This guy, again, just... Thank you for that. You just made it so much easier. They have a teammate though. That is tricky. They killed on my elk. Teammate is a Pantera as well. So I know that he has the older reloader. And that means that I could be in massive trouble now. But I do have some teammates. And I decide to wait for my clip to fill. Before I shoot him once. And I shoot him twice. And now I decide to risk it. Become a one shot for everyone. But now there's only one tank left. 3.7k damage into it. He does not kill me off. I still get another shot in, but we are at 1k points. And we are at 4k damage. So 4.2, 3 kills, 1337 lead. I had lead XP. 570 supremacy points. It's... This tank is not the standard B, but it's a lovely tank. And I'm quite a fan of it as well. So in the meantime, I'm getting tag places. Trying to figure out what's going on, because I assume that people don't just randomly tag me while I'm streaming. If they do, I would not be happy. And there we go. Let's see what else have I got for you. I'm trying not to just show my replays, obviously. I do have some more. This could be fun. This is one of the tanks that has been buffed since the last update. And it's pretty much been over buffed, and that's one of the things that I'm not a fan of. So let's do that. This is like, people are saying, no, it's not OP, it's not OP. Thing is, it's not necessarily not OP or not OP. It's a lot stronger now. It's fairly impossible to damage from the front, depending on what you're driving. But mainly my issue is that it's just not balanced. Because right now, the upper plate has less armor than the lower plate. It's ridiculous. So yeah, he uses the kitty camera on the tiger. That is of course very, very fitting. And let's see where Ollie goes. He's obviously going hill, but let's see what he does with the team, to be fair. Because if you hold the hill, you have such an advantage here. But you need teammates that are actually going to take the hill and that aren't just standing around in front of the hill scared of what might happen. Nice little shot there, nice little bounces. It is a very strong tank. Borsig has been spotted. They are trying to shoot Ollie. But not really succeeding. Ollie repositioning himself. Wanting to get out of the path of the sniper. Into the path of the protecting his teammate. That's completely YOLO'd at the back there. No, you can't really shoot him with HE. And that was just tracking damage. And they already lost a teammate. I just saw Irma's comment on the Pantera, struggling in the Pantera. It's not the easiest tank to drive, really. It's somehow it works. It doesn't work as you would expect it to. And I think that's the weakness of the Pantera. But it's also the strength of the Pantera, to be fair. Because it's just not predictable a tank. And I quite like that. Ooh, nice shot to the face. Tiger going. Waiting for Ollie to shoot him. Ollie bouncing some more shots. Getting only some module damage. And now the Tankenstein is getting in the way. And now he actually did take some damage. Wild shot. And his team is steadily evaporating. There we go. The Borsig is there as well. They're going to get some tanks behind them. Tag 1 far. Go fight me. Panther arriving. TC. Ooh. Nice little bounce. This is the thing with the Tiger, with what I meant with it being overbuffed. Thing is, it's not even really slow. It just is. Nice HE damage. He's already blocked 3k damage. He blocked more damage than he did. That's the ridiculous thing. I actually have a replay in the Tiger as well. I don't think I'll have time to show you that. Thing is though that it's wrong when your upper plate is actually more heavily armored than your lower plate. Ooh, that missed though. So he's not gonna survive that. No, he doesn't. Type 62 not being stupid enough. Charioteer missing and then dying. So now they just have to play carefully. Just see where the enemies are. They know one of them will try and spot them. What is that? What does that even mean, honestly? Not a man. Honestly, are you kidding me? Do you have to be a man to be good at this game then? Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of showing myself off here. Which is quite bad of me, but I'm proud. And I'm gonna be showing these replays in multiple channels. Multiple streams, I should say. I even handed them over to Brian to show me off as well, because I'm proud of these games. Another ambulance, that's the thing with an event downtown. A lot of possibility. Ooh, nice little bounce. And he's still done a tiny bit more damage than he's actually blocked. But now he might be up for a little bit of trouble with the RHM there. Type 62 behind. The Type 62 I wouldn't be too worried about on his own, but same with the Borsig. There we go. Now he's activated his adrenaline. That's the good thing. Very smart move. And he needs to just focus on the RHM. RHM will do a lot more damage to him than the Type 62. And now it's just Type 62, who's not going to be able to get out of this. There you go. 4.9k damage in a tier 8. That is epic. But it goes to show, he blocked 3.5k damage. it goes to show how OP that thing is. You saw how the Borsig was looking at him and not shooting because there was nothing to pen. 1405 base XP. Lovely little ace. Tiny bit of assisted damage. Few missed shots. 10 bounces. Leading to a steel wall. What a game. In 9 minutes the thing will be up, so I actually have time to show you one more replay, and I'm going to show you one of my own. Another standard B game. This is actually a game that just highlights the pluses of the auto reloading system. It is the main thing that I love about this tank. The fact it makes playing so interesting. I like that it adds a new element. Same thing that I like about Supremacy. It's just the fact that it's a new element that is exciting, that is not boring to play. It's not predictable because you can do a lot of things in this tank, going into a lot of different positions. So I start off by heading to the area behind C, and that is mainly to do with because I want to cap the base, but I mainly want to know who is there. Because this is one of the maps, it's tricky, it's very small, so you need to find a good position to hold. So I just quickly look into the alleyway and then look to see who I can spot here. But there seems to be no one here, and that means that we should probably cap the base. Which is what I'm gonna do then. And I don't use the fountain as cover. I mainly just want to get out of the line of fire from whichever way they might be shooting at me. But there's no one there. They're all either in our spawn or in the city. So I decide to push this way. Because there's a Yaktiga there, and with the way that he's been shooting, he's definitely not facing me. And he has a teammate with him. But it's mainly the Yaktiga that I want to get out of the way. He's a one-shot now, and the VK is just there. The Yaktiga just got killed. And he does shoot me, and I bounce on him, so I pull back. At this stage, I know that he has 48 HP left. So I need to play carefully with my shells, and the more that I can reload, the more quickly I can load into him. T49 is actually running away, which is like, yeah, thank you, teammate. That was just like very nice of you. I track him, I take damage from him. At this stage I'm thinking like, yeah, I really need help. So I get not a shot in, that empties my clip. So I pull back at this stage, and this is what I mean. He has 459 damage left, so I know that I need at least 2 shells to get rid of him. I have a lot of angry enemies that are coming up behind me. And now he's a one-shot, so I can just clip him. This is what I mean. I just needed to load those 2 shells to make sure that I would murder him. But I'm only down to 501 HP now. So I decide to help my T49, even though he left me behind with the Tiger. Actually getting him stuck into a position. And I know I won't be able to track him again because I need to reload the shot, and he can move by then. And there he goes. And at this stage too, I decide to reload the clip rather than just shooting the Tiger. There's actually commercials in this stream. That is completely ridiculous. But yeah. I will fix that for the next stream. Sorry about that. And there we go. That is the end of the Tiger 2. It's 3 versus 2. This guy's pretty healthy. And I decide to just go for him. See what I can do. I kill him off, which is a bit of luck, to be fair. And then there's just one guy left. But I'm a one-shot for him as well. I'm 3.8k damage in. I have 1 shell loaded. I want more. So I had around the back, hoping to get some shots into the back of him. Thing is, they have 2 bases, so it is a little bit tricky. And you can see that he's looking at me, so I want to avoid him being able to shoot me. So the Waffle is now capping base B. So he kind of has a choice to make a move or wait for me. The Waffle shoots him. And now the Vega is going in. He's not focused on me at all. So I decided to just load my clip into him. I kill him off. I get 4 kills. I'm 4.8k damage in. This is just the relocating. The let's see how many shells I need to murder someone. That is the stuff that I love about this tank. Seriously, me and this tank, we just sync up. It's awesome. So yeah, let's see how this will go. We have about 4 minutes left before the room invite is up. I'm not going to show you another replay because of that. I got a message. I'm not going to check it while I'm on stream, because likely as not it will have to do something with the clan, because I'm actually in E7 on the server, which is something that I find quite funny. But I find it funny mainly because of 2 things. If I go here, you see that my clan has enrolled. Even funnier, if I go here, you see that I have a professionals ticket and I have a challenger ticket. And it's something that I find really funny, because I haven't played a battle, I've only streamed them, but I did get the tickets for being in the clan. So yeah, that is, I found that quite funny. In the meantime, this is the Figures MKF. I love the little thingy. Can I pimp it? It would still have the stripes, look at that. No, you don't see it there. You see it through the camouflage very lightly. Look at this though, it can look so good, but I like this look better with the stripes. I wish you could see that more when you put another camouflage on it. But yeah, the next lineup that we have is E7 versus NUP. We are going to Fort Despair, Oasis, Palms, Black, Goldville and Winter Malinovka. Again, best of 7. So it will all depend on, well, mainly the focus fire, and not necessarily on luck. And that's what I like about the best of 7. That's also what I dislike about the best of 7, because it does invite some still gameplay, because you can have the patience. But yeah, if you are thinking about grinding the new line and you're not entirely sure, definitely do it. I mean, this is the whole line. So far, I've free XP'd it, but I have played all of them. I actually like all of them, with the only exception being the P43 Tear, which is just, it's not that it's a bad tank, it's just, I actually have an ace in that too, I think. It's either that or the Biz, but I think it's a Tear. But I don't have time to show it for you now, obviously. And, of course, the Spaghetti at the end. Spaghetti, just such a lovely, lovely tank. I can't wait. I have to wait, but I don't want to wait. I just want to play it and keep playing it. Because it's an amazing line. I just love the fact that it's not predictable. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the room invite now. That should be up in about a minute at max. In the meantime, I am going to take some 7-Up, my beverage of choice today. But yeah, definitely go for the new line if you like playing tactical, because it is not an easy system to get used to. Because the challenge is deciding between whether you want to shoot the clip and have to reload longer to get more shells, or whether you want to reload the shell and then deal quick damage. Because that is the tricky part, because you need to read the situation more than you would need in standard autoloaders. At the same time, you have the luxury of waiting and just seeing your shot refill themselves. So yeah. Like I said, I'm a definite fan. But let's focus on the matchup that we have now. Like I said, we are starting on Fort Despair. Fort Despair looks like this. You have 3 bases. You have base A, which is completely in the open. Base B, that is slightly more protected, but still pretty open. Base C, that is more protected, but still has lines of fire into it for multiple sites. none of these bases are really easy to cap or work well in, but if you get the caps, they will also be very hard to get stolen from you. So that is the pro part of the map. The disadvantage is that it really invites super heavies and campers. I'm not a big fan of either. You have, of course, the Easter egg from Raid from Twister Cup last year in the lower right corner. And yeah, we haven't seen any weird pushes yet this season. No weird positions being tested yet. I wonder if we're gonna see that throughout the days of the professionals tournament. It would be quite fun to have another signature move from someone like the grill push. So we still have 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go. I'm going to take away the map now so that we can focus on the lineup. I am rated up. I'm making sure that the map is not on the screen for you. And E7 is almost completely read up. And we see the Chinese tier 10 TD there. That is a good choice, I think. Especially now that there's a new tank. Of course, you have the spaghetti. But you also have the new consumables on tanks like the Chinese tier 10 and the E5. I wonder if we're going to see an E5 at some point. Technically speaking, I'm not entirely certain. I think the 215B is way more OP with it than the E5 is. But who knows, it could happen. And we have E7 that has going into the middle. Not sure what they're doing here, but they're derping around a little bit. We have Nub that is completely ready. In E3, a Foch, 3 IS4s and 2 215Bs. And they're going to go up against a collection of tanks that keep changing and people that don't know what exactly they are doing, which does not look very hopeful. They have a minute and a half left to go to decide what they want to do, really. And Ariel taking the Kenny. Kenny, oh my god, I had a discussion on Discord the other day about the Kenny. Because we were talking about equipment, and I use a pretty much standard set of equipment on almost all tanks. And one of my reasons for that is that I feel that it helps the general performance of my tank to the max. Especially the calibrated shells. Calibrated shells is something I use on every single tank. Because not only does it make my pen better, it also means that I need to aim less, that I need to peek out less, so take less risk actually getting the shot in. And because you can pen more, you can also use HE more, you can also use AP more. It's worth it for me in every tank, regardless of what type. So I use calibrated on anything. But yeah, this guy then started looking up my stats and was talking about that I have a lot of battles in the Kenny. Yeah, I do. But who cares? I enjoy it. The Kenny is my go-to tank if I had a frustrating run and I just want to end on the win. Because you can almost always end in a win in the Kenny and with an ace in the Kenny. Because you have a bad game in the Kenny if you don't ace it. So that is something that I found really funny. And now we have Cinderella that is still not ready up. He has 5 seconds left. What the hell is he doing? There you go. And E7, I'll tell you the story later. E7 is now going in with an E100 215B IS4, 2 of them Jaeger T22 and a Chinese tier 10. The Jaeger is an interesting choice here, along with the E100, because we generally see mice here a lot, not necessarily E100s. So let's see what they do. We have most of E7 except for the IS4 Merida and, well, the IS4 Milan and Merida heading towards more the middle and the right side with the big guns and most of the tanks heading towards base C. And Nub is spreading out quite evenly across the map, probably wanting to respond quickly. Merida has been spotted though, so they know that he's there. And Olaf is going in to cap the base and he's not gonna be contended for it, looks like. Emerald taking a position behind Olaf to save him. Some people are worth melding for. I can't believe I just used a Frozen reference. But we want to keep Olaf alive, don't we? That was a lucky shot Well, not necessarily lucky, but lucky miss for Olaf. Tiny bit of damage being done both ways, but not all that much. But now E7 has the base, so they have the advantage. We have an E3 that is peeking up the hill, keeping an eye on Cheesy Bugger, which is in a bit of a precarious position there. You don't want to get shot by an E3. And basically we're all in holding positions. We have a Foch and a 215B, two 215Bs that are over there. But overall, E7 can just hold and afford to be as defensive as they want. They don't need to take any chances. They can just wait it out. And it will be up to Low to make a move. And Merida is just taking a tiny bit of hits from that mouse at the back. So this is something, he doesn't have to take this chance. He doesn't have to be careful. He doesn't have to risk himself like that. We now have the mouse moving in, probably wanting to cap the base. But they would have to do a lot more than just cap one base in order to make this work. I think they want to excite a reaction, and they don't have to. Again, they are 250 points ahead of Nub. And that is a lot of tanks. That is 5 tanks thereabouts. So all they need to do is hold, and they need to avoid base C being stolen. And then they will be fine. This is something you can actually get stuck against that tower, which is quite ridiculous. And both teams again are still holding, but we have Nub looks like getting ready for a push together. But I don't think they know entirely for sure what they want to do. Because E7 is pretty spread out. Some shots being fired, but no damage being done. And we are still waiting. Olaf is waiting, the E100 is waiting behind that. Base A now being capped. But more troll cap than anything else. But it does have the desired effect because they are getting a reaction out of E7 that is basically splitting their team up. But we have a Yege and an IS-4 at the back with Merida in protection. And now we see... Ooh, that was a nasty miss to make. We see Olaf and Ariel being pushed. They want that base. They want those tanks. I'm not sure if they're gonna get away with it. Mulan taking some damage there. Ooh, Hades getting massacred on the other side. There goes Hades, and that is the first tank gone. Nice little bounce by Ariel. By actually Olaf protecting Ariel. Massive hits happening. Mouse being ignored. There goes Ariel. Base C is being capped. But we are 800 points in, and they have to focus fire. White Death just lost his HP. Olaf being slaughtered. Merida being bullied. There goes Olaf, but not before Mulan kills off the one of the FEs. Merida is not going to survive this, but the mouse is next in line for deletion. No, it's, well, Merida first, but then there we go. It is 4 versus 2, and it looks like E7 is going to bring this home, even though the T-22 just hit behind Mulan. Oh, that bounce though. Oh, the poor Foch. With the IS-4 being murdered by the E100. There goes the Foch. And we are at 1k points. And there we go. The game is for E7. Well played. Very hesitant game. Love the troll move on base A from Nub, where they just sent an IS-4 to cap it. And then just didn't cap it, but they evoked a reaction from E7 that nearly cost them the game. So we have 1.5 minutes in. And Then we got the second match for this best of 7, the second best of 7 for today. And we see that Nob has now completely read it up in an E3, a Foch, 2 IS4s, a mouse and a 215B. And they're going to go up against a 140, a 215B, another 140, a mouse, another 215B and 2 IS4s. So that is a bit of super armor with quite some troll armor and a bit of mobility. No fast tanks on Nob's side. I'm not sure if they're going to be happy with that after the game, mainly because fast tanks also bring the DPM. They bring the movement and they bring the DPM, and that can make it difficult. So we have half a minute left to go before the second match on Fort Despair. Different spawns, of course. And I'm curious how this will go, because now Nob has an inkling of what to do, and they were... both teams were playing so hesitantly, with Metadata taking a bit of risk picking out the way that he did. So yeah, in 6 seconds we are going into the match. And here we go. Let's see what they do. Love this camo, it does look good. It looks a bit glowy. But yeah, I'll be pimping my ride on the standard B for sure. Just don't know how yet. I've quite a few certificates for camouflages. So we have E7 again focusing on the C side with the mediums heading towards the middle. The Foch going to the back. Nob focusing on all sides. Mulan having been spotted by the Foch, that can be tricky. Ooh, he actually bounces that one. But it makes him hesitant to cap. And he goes into cap. He does take a shot there, but now they're capping together. The 140s are pulling back. The mouse is holding in the middle. Shots are happening. E7 isn't even capping. They are moving on. And we have Nob rotating back immediately to hold. But again, they are making the push, but they're not committing to it. E7, push coherently. Go for it or don't. But this doesn't work. And Metadata losing way too much HP for that. The Foch being allowed to reload again before he's even deleted. Now he's steadily losing a lot of HP and he's not going to survive this. But he's still reloading, and ooh, there goes Metadata and there goes the Foch. It cost him a tank and a lot more HP to get rid of one enemy tank. And now Mulan is in trouble. Cheesy Bugger is losing a lot of HP. He's not going to survive this. He's a one-shot now. Ooh, and they do delete him first. But Cheesy Bugger is not going to survive this. And Olaf is taking lots of damage as well. Tanks are disappearing left and right, but it is 2 versus 2 on this side. And there he goes. And now it's just... It is 5 versus 4. With Shironeko running off. So we have IS4 versus IS4. I'm going to quickly take you over to mouse versus object. That then gets shots from behind. With a very high flying turret. And it's 3 versus 4. And he does take him out, but he does take damage for it. Then he seems to be pulling back into the line of fire of the other mouse. You can't help your teammate. You're too far away, Emerald. And there goes Cinderella. And Emerald is driving away from a mouse, showing him his weak spot. He can't save Mulan. Mulan, especially not now, because he's gone. I'm not sure what the plan is here. But the fact that he did not focus on the mouse getting behind him at all is actually part of what cost him the game. Stuff like that, again, not focus firing, not committing to the push. So that was very tricky. This is something that E7 will definitely have to work on. They will have to work on that focus fire, on shooting the same target, on committing to the push. If they push, they can't just stop halfway, literally out in the open. It doesn't work. And not rotating back when they noticed that the push was happening, that didn't stick. So the next map we are going to is Oasis Palms. And this is the map. You have base A on the heavy side, base B in the middle, and base C in the desert. This is a map that is quite funny because if I have a good teammate and I meet more people that I know, I would tend to focus on base A and B. But if I'm in a relatively fast tank alone or just with the teammate, I will tend to use positions around base C because I feel the positions around there are better. But you do need to dominate 2 bases, and that can be tricky on this map if you go to C. There are a lot of camper positions on this map, and that is something that I'm not really a fan of. I don't like camping. But yeah, I wonder how this will go, because right now the score is 1-1, so it can go every which way. But we see that with the map away, of course, we see that NUP has readied up with an E3, a Foch, an IS-4, an IS-7, 2 215Bs and a 140, and they're going up against a 140, a T-22 medium, the Chinese TD, 2 IS-4s, a Foch, and an STB. So again, I'm always curious where they go with these lineup, because like I said, it's a team game, so they can go every which way that they want. And the pressure's not yet on, so they can all play pretty defensively if they choose to do so. 7 seconds, the countdown clock has started. We are ready to go in. Here we go. Let's see what they do. The thing is, this is one of the maps I don't quite like it. It can be quite fun, but it's not one of my favorite maps for sure. And here we go, instant going into the game. This does look good on the Foch. E7 heading mainly towards the city, with the Mets all going to the desert. The Foch taking camping position, and NUP focusing primarily on the city. They have the 140 there. We see some fire going on with a little bit of HP being lost both sides, but not too much. And we have the 215Bs that are rushing towards base A, and they're gonna get away with it because there is no one there to contend with them. So they are grabbing base A. The IS-4 and IS-7, sorry, and the 140 are holding in the desert. And they have now got a base advantage, so the pressure will be on to E7 to change that, to do something about that. Merida being missed there. Ooh, that was a big hit into the 140. Nice shot by Cinderella. And we see some shots happening. The IS-4s moving through the middle. And they're going to meet some opposition there. They're mainly primarily functioning as spotters right now, which is quite funny. Ooh, White Death has almost died one. E3 taking some damage. Everyone being spotted by the IS-4s. Ariel now taking some damage. And NUP moving in to kill off these IS-4s that are very tricky, and no one of E7's team is close enough to do anything about this, because once they go down into that ledge, they can't do anything about it. There goes Merida. Now the Mets are sort of moving in. Ariel in trouble. They need to take out that IS-7. There goes Emerald, and though the spotting position that the heavies had was very good, it didn't work for them, and that has everything to do with the fact that they... Ooh, Odo just got deleted. Cheesy Burger taking a massive hit. It was a good move, but they didn't commit to it. The rest of the team was too far away. And now it is 4 versus 4. HP-wise, it is definitely in E7's favor. But the question is, will they be able to carry it home? Because position-wise, NUP does have better positions. We have the Foch. Ooh, there he goes. IS-4 is gone. It is 4 versus 2. The 215B is going into the ditch away from the fire line of the T-22. We have the e3 that is not necessarily being rushed by the 140. Now he is, but he is focused on the Foch. And that's a tricky thing to do, ignoring a medium in favor of a TD. And the Foch is reloading. He's going to finish off that e3. Oh, he's not actually, because Ariel does it for him. And now it is 4 versus 1. And the 215B is not going to survive this. Nice little run by Milan. After a missed shot that hit the ground. So, that is 2-1 then for e7. And the pressure is starting to build, because now e7 has to win 2 more games and Nub has to win 3 to get the points. We are going on to the second match of the Oasis Palms. And we see a badger has entered the scene. We have e7 almost completely read up. Nub have some offline people. They might be restarting something. Hopefully they have 1 minute and 20 seconds to do it in whatever they're doing. And we have e7 now completely read up in 2 140s, an IS4, a Chinese TD, the Badger, a Foch and an SCV. So that is a lot of firepower. The question is how to get the firepower into the right position, because you want to make sure that you have the tanks with you. In this case, it worked out, but it really looked to be going to an upside for quite a while there. Especially after they ran to the IS4s to finish them off. Because they were in a ditch and they were definitely hard to hit. Nub now potentially in trouble, missing a member. They have 36 seconds left to get back. There we go, full team. And we have Nub ready in an E3, a Foch, 2 IS4s, a 215B, 2 actually, and an E50M. And I think the E3 on this map would, yeah, there we go. E3 just turned into another IS4. It would not be my preferred TD in a team battle like this, because I feel on this map the 268 and the Foch would perform better. The E3 could hold the position better, but you need to relocate more in a map like this with so many different positions. So here we go into the 4th match. And we start by the Badger. Funny tank this. Looks funny as well. Tea time. If I were to get a tank, if I were to get the Badger or the FV 405, I would probably get the attachment just because it's funny. We have the Mets focusing on the desert side again. And all of Nub is focusing on the city side rather than the desert side. And I wonder if E7 is going to cap that base. And Olaf is capping, positioning himself very carefully. You can see that now base B is being capped. Base A is going to get capped as well. Nub is going for an early point advantage. Base B has been capped. Base A is almost capped. And there we go. Nub is taking some first damage, but they do have 2 bases. They can play defensively now. Because these bases will be very hard to get stolen. Some shots going into places, but not really doing much damage. The only one that is slightly damaged is Hades. And Cheesy Bugger is basically keeping Namhui spotted, or Namhai, however you want to pronounce it. And E7 is up to a challenge trying to get this back. Cheesy Bugger has to be careful there. He's keeping a lot of people spotted, but he can't really do anything. You can't shoot them. And we have the Object 140s at the back. They're going to meet an E50M once he arrives. Let's go over there. The rest is a bit of a stalemate. 140s have been spotted now. And the Foch is behind there, so they have to be careful going after this E50M. Foch has not been spotted. Now he has been. 215 Beast taking some steady damage in the middle. Bit of a stalemate. Ooh, 215B. I'm just going to take you over there instead now. Cinderella taking some big hits there. Cheesy Bugger taking some hit. And he's not pre-aimed, and that's actually causing him to bounce that shot. He's also now 2 versus 1. We have the STB and the Chinese TD. Nob is losing a lot of HP, but they're not losing tanks. And that is the tricky part. The Foch is going to finish him off. Oh, he is not. That is a lucky TD. Cheesy Bugger almost gone, but he does take out Namui. There goes White Death. The Foch is almost gone, but he takes out Cinderella. There goes Rikimaru. All bases are being stolen right now. And it's going to keep them from getting any points. Base B is stolen. Base A is almost gone. Ares is gone. STB going after the 2 and 5B. Who then turns, showing all his juicy bits to the other tanks. And they survive. And now there's only Calcifer that is left. And he is getting shot from every side. Badger is coming in together with the Foch. But we are at 1k points. And he survives. A very cheeky game. Double the damage for E7 thereabout than what Nob did. 3-1 for E7. Seriously, why do I get sponsored messages? This is like a copyright free. It's actually Dutch as well. That makes it just more ridiculous. But yeah, it's supposedly a gaming stream. And the thing is that I've been playing music. Well, actually, we're going to Black Goldfield. Let me do that first. I've been playing music on streams, but even though it's a copyright-free playlist, I did get some copyright thingies, so I want to see if this playlist works better. But it does have commercials, which is ridiculous. So this is Black Goldfield. We have 3 bases. Base A, which is considered a map base. Base B in the middle, very open, very dangerous. Base C, that is all the way to the other side. Considered a heavy base. Personally, I prefer base A, and going from there, I feel that it is better positions around it as well. But with the team, you can go anywhere. So that is the map that we're going to now. The pressure is definitely on Nob, because they will have to win every next match in order to get the point, and E7 only has to win 1 more. And Nob is readied up in a T22, a Foch, 3 IS4s, a 215B, and a T62A, and they're going to go up against a 2 Batchats, 2 IS4s, 2 140s, and a Chinese TD. I can't really go to W's that, I think. I can't call it the FT either. I'm just going Chinese TD. You know what tank I mean then. Why can't tanks just have normal names? That would make it so much easier. So here we go. Love this camo on the bat chat as well, but I do love the legendary camo. And we see Nob focusing on B by the looks of it, with Ariel going towards base A, but holding at the back there to avoid getting rushed. But Cheesy Bugger could be in a potentially dangerous position now. So I'm just going to take you over to him, because he's going to be spotting people. And they will know that he's there, and they will... Ooh, nice little shot into Namui over there. And there's a lot of tanks at base C, so potentially Calcifer is in a lot of trouble now. They are now getting spotted. Cheesy Bugger in a tricky position, but so far Nob is not capitalizing on that. Whereas Calcifer is now getting rushed. And we have Nup responding immediately by pushing the middle. Or attempting to in any case. Calcifer is almost gone. The 140s are having a very good position there. They need to be careful though with the Batchat overextending himself like that. Calcifer almost gone. There he goes. Ariel taking a little bit of damage there. Mulan taking a massive hit. White Death dying pretty quickly, even though Cheesy Bugger is probably gonna be led to the slaughter as well. But they are in tricky positions. There goes White Death. Big hit into Rikimaru there. There goes Cheesy Bugger. But E7 has 2 tanks out of the way and they have the 2 caps now. And they are focusing on Rikimaru, who's not going to survive this. There we go. 3 tanks out of the way. Merida holding in the middle. Mulan just died. Merida is not going to survive this either. But for some reason still manages to survive with 40 HP. There goes Phoenix. The Force is going to take out Merida. But he seems to be content with that because it is 4 versus 3. They have 2 bases. HP wise they are in the advantage. As long as they focus fire, they should have this. Batchat takes a big hit. There goes Namui. And we are 2 tanks over left. One is the Force that is now reloaded into a clip. And the Batchats are going to go after the T-22. They need to be careful though. Because that Foch could delete him. But the Foch isn't actually helping his teammate. That is a tricky thing. The Foch is facing off against Cinderella and Olaf. And almost gone. And he does get hit in before he dies. But he does die. And the match is for E7. So E7 gets a point. So that is definitely the way to do it. 5k damage more than the other team almost. And it was an interesting match. A very fast match. Them pushing that IS-4 was great, but I don't understand why Nop didn't turn around to help their teammate. But they also didn't commit to the push in the middle, so that kind of cost them the point, really. So that means, let's look if we have a current standing yet for the Asia server. Feast won both matches. ICT won their second match. We have HLV with a point that was before. Low won the point against E7. E7 also has a point. TNM has a point. That we know that already? Let's see. They have 2 points now. So Feast and TNM both have 2 points. E7 has a point. King has no points by the looks of it. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, they lost 2 points. Nup. Well, they didn't lose 2 points, but they didn't get any point. Let me put it that way. Nup lost both matches as well. So Feast has 2 points. Then you have TNM that has 2 points. HOV has a point. Low has a point. TNM has a point. And E7 has a point. And that is 8 points. And that is the max amount of points today. So we know all the results. I just want to check how Feast did. Game-wise, 4-0 both times. That is epic. Well done. So that is it for me for now, for the Asia server. That means that tonight I will be back on the EU server and I will be streaming. Hang on, let me just grab that. The schedule for you. Tonight I will be streaming RTK versus Navin, followed by RTK versus Loka. Brian will have the created stream with Karna versus FBI and Karna versus Navin. And then later on tonight I will have the NA and I will have the create stream. And that will be... I will follow... I actually don't know who they are. Thaishotai. No idea. Because we actually got the team names rather than the clan tags. But yeah. I will have the created stream for NA tonight. And tomorrow I will have the created stream for Asia and for the EU. But for now, this is the Asia stream for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be back tonight with EU. So have a great day wherever you are. And I hope to see you then. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, thanks all the teams for the lovely gameplay. And see you tonight. Goodbye.